Well, hi there folks. Now you may have seen the unboxing of my Atom RC Swordfish basic kit and a couple of the problems I encountered in the build video, which was part 2. Anyway, props I ordered arrived, because there's no way I could have used the original drone props on it. They were massive. Plus replaced the one burnt out LED after a bit of overheating problems in which I mentioned in that last video. So props arrived. No excuses then. It was time to give this baby a maiden. The Atom RC instructions that come with it are next to useless, and I must say this is my first V-tail and I had no experience whatsoever of doing a V-tail aileron rudder mix. No matter what searching I did, I couldn't find any info, so I had to guess it, and no doubt that contributed to the fact that it was a bit of a handful to start with. Second flight much better after I made some changes, as you'll see. But anyway, here it is. I'll stop going on. Here is the maiden of my Atom RC Swordfish. Right, well, we're up here again folks, and it's rather breezy for a maiden, especially a maiden of my first ever V-tail. But I'm going to give it a go because I've got a willing helper here who's going to throw it. We're going to give it a go. It's quite a nice direction, because if it all goes bottoms up, at least it's going to be upwind here somewhere, so it should be all right. So wish me luck. Everything's looking good. Nose up a little bit. When you're ready, go. Oh, I hate it when I go right back over my head. I'm going to get upwind a bit more. That is half throttle. I've got plenty of authority.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Well, I went below half throttle. That was opening it up again. I went below half throttle.
Oh.
That was rotor off those trees.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa, man.
Oh, oh.
I'll keep it two-thirds throttle, okay? Two-thirds throttle. I need to actually give it a little bit of up elevator.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And I can't do it when I'm flying. I hate it.
Do I should. Oh, easy. Wow. Wow.
I can't trim while I'm flying. That's the problem. I hate it.
Well, I'll do it for you if you want. Just have to indicate. I assume it's that one.
No. Actually, let me just fly. I'll just keep it with flying with a little bit of up.
Yeah, you're
In
riding the elevator.
Yeah, exactly. I'm riding it, so
Okay.
I'll just keep it up for a bit. Right.
Oh, it's going well, I think. Famous last word. Easy.
I've just given it some up, but accidentally knocked the throttle.
Alright.
Let's see if I can get it trimmed right. Oh no, it's still. Whoa!
Well, you could gain a
I'm
bit
going
of
to
altitude
attempt
if
to
you
bring
need.
it down.
Yep.
Actually, what I wanted to do. Whoa! No, that was just the rotor in here. He said he was having trouble. Well, you do get rotor here. I need to reduce the throws a bit.
Let it settle. Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to get it high and see what the glide was like
yeah, I mean.
for when I shut the throttle.
Oh, I see. Oh, just keep.
Oh, it's climbing way too much.
Is that on throttle?
Yeah. Well, somebody on YouTube said give it plenty of expo. Right.
Expo on the.
Well, because it's windy, it's being chucked around.
Cool turn. Cool.
What happens if I shut the throttle?
Well.
That's the glide. That's not bad, is it?
Okay. Yeah. Well, what are we thinking at the moment?
I'm thinking I'm going to drop it down here because I don't want to break the props. Oh man, that was nerve-wracking, man. Okay, well, for a maiden that wasn't bad. I think I've got to reduce the throws a fair old bit and give it some more down trim. But judging the glide, it looked like the centre of gravity was absolutely lovely, spot on. And I did try and trim it down there, but not with a great deal of success. Right, let's have a little play. Right, with the help of my flight assistants, we've been trying to analyse what might be the problem here, because it was just way too responsive. And I figure
I saw online, I think it was Andrew Newton or Lee on Painless 360 using a 70-30 aileron rudder mix. Well, I think I'm using 66%, but I've got a feeling they probably meant 30 for the rudder and 70 aileron. So what we have just decided is I'm turning off the mix so that basically all I've got is elevator and ailerons, because it should fly okay without the addition of rudder. I'm not a great rudder person anyway. So I'm going to give it a little go like that. Wish me luck. There's a little lull. Okay, go.
Looks better.
Well, I flew straight into the sun. Let me try it, 2/3 throttle. Still need more up elevator. See, the whole time I was flying it too, I was having to work the elevator to keep the nose up. So it still needs more, and I've got maximum up trim on it now, so I do need to go into sub trim. Oh, that's so much better, honestly. That's easy now. That's half throttle.
You've got plenty of authority from the aileron.
I'm kind of making it dive too much though. I think I've got too much down elevator, because when I push the nose down, oh, I just stalled it then. No, the worst of it is I hate it when it goes behind me. I can't see it anymore.
No,
You just
it's
try and
also quite fast, so
yeah. Oh, and it will go right. It's quite balanced nicely. It goes right.
nice.
It goes left. It does need more than half throttle. And I tell you what, it does have a tendency to dive. Maybe it needs down thrust, because it has a tendency to sky out when I open the throttle too much. Well, when they say it's a good FPV plane, I don't know, it looks scary to me. What can I see in my right eye line there? What's flying?
Immature gull.
A gull, oh right, okay. I could just see it in my eye line. Well, I chucked in a loop there, full track loop. Full chat, it will do a nice loop. I'm not going to try a V-tail roll, no thanks. So I'm calming down a bit now. That's not so bad, it's almost flying itself there at that.
Well,
At half
you
throttle.
seem much more comfortable, and so does the plane.
I'll tell you what else, why it's also looking odd.
Yeah.
It's windy and it's being chucked about in the rotor from those trees. You know, when it's behaving erratically and suddenly diving.
I've never liked trees.
See, it's still diving, it still needs up trim.
Yeah.
But that was almost hands-free there. Oh yeah, well it looks nice anyway,
Right.
but I don't think it's going to be my ideal FPV plane. I'm going to come round again. You're standing behind me?
Yeah.
Oh good, okay. Alright then we'll just drop it down there. I hope that's not on the track. I was hoping for the edge of the bushes there, so as not to break the prop, but I might actually be on the... Oh no, it's still on some scrub, isn't it? Oh, it's a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest, that.
Yeah, but it was better.
Oh man. Apparently if you've got the mix in, you do smoother turns. But see what I mean? It is actually quite breezy,
Yeah,
and if it's breezy like this here, once you get above 100 feet there and you're out of the line of those trees, needs a little bit more up trim. If anyone says to you, do you really need to do the rudder mix on a Atom RC Swordfish? The answer is no, they fly much nicer without a rudder mix. So that flew okay, was still quite a handful, but thinking about it, I think that might have been because once you get higher than that line of trees or anywhere near it, you've got a lot of wind here and quite a lot of rotor coming off the trees. And of course, as soon as it flies into rotor, it's being chucked around like crazy. All in all, pretty happy with that. It flew straight from the hand. I was thinking reduced throws on my rudder mix, and then I thought, well, easiest thing is just turn it off completely, see what happens. And of course there was plenty of authority, and it looked to me 100 times flying more easily. And I just checked my 2200 milliamp 3S, and the battery was still at 63%, so I've only used 37% in those 2 flights, which is pretty good going really.
Right, so back at the ranch, later I made a few adjustments. First thing I did was, and bear in mind I did actually go online and try and find some detailed explanation about how you do a V-tail or any kind of rudder mix, to be honest, on a Fly Sky. I'd seen online, I think Andrew Newton or Painless 360 Lee's mentioned something about 70-30. I put 66 in there, positive mix, 66 negative mix, but thinking about it, it should have been a 30% figure there, not the 70% end of that scale. So I've actually reduced it to 25-25, which means when you move the aileron you get much less deflection on the tail, because what was happening was, as I was using the aileron, my turns were being really exaggerated by a massive 66% influence of rudder on the tail, which was really making it yaw like crazy and awful, to be honest. So, and as you saw, it was much easier to handle once I turned the mix off. I will leave it turned on now. I've reduced it to 25% because in theory it should make the turns smoother. The other thing I've done with respect to the throws on the rudder, I've actually moved the control rod here down to the lower hole, because the other slight problem is servos weren't very sensitive. It was requiring quite a very fine movement to actually activate the flaperons, whatever you want to call these things. So now I can have a bigger movement on the servo arm and still get quite a nice trim here. Plus I've given it a bit of up trim, and in fact on this side put in a little V-bend to achieve it. But I'm hoping with these changes next time it's going to be a easier and more comfortable flight. So that's the story, folks. As far as installing my flight controller, that's going to wait a bit, because I think it was Andrew Newton said before you get installing a flight controller in any aircraft, make sure it's flying properly before thinking about setting up iNav on a flight controller. So still going to do some more fiddling about with this, and thinking about it, I've got a feeling that both Andrew and Lee on Painless 360 said they had to do quite a bit of fiddling about and tuning to get it to fly nicely. So I'm hoping that Maiden will be a much calmer affair. Hope you found this information useful. If you have, please give it a like. Still think it's a great little model, looks great in the air, and I love my red props. And incidentally, if you saw the intro to this with my build blog for this, the original props on this were these, because they came off my crashed drone. And even for starters, there's no way I could put those on. Even with these on, there's still very little clearance, so I settled on a compromise in a 6045. And as you saw there, I mean, I've got plenty of power there. Probably could take an even slightly bigger prop. So was quite pleased with the way that worked out. It was more or less guess mark. It was more or less guesswork to figure what prop. I would quite like a little undercarriage. This has already got a nose wheel, but you've got a very good chance of hitting the props when you land, unless you've got a strip like mine where it's scrub and you can actually drop it in the scrub. So I wouldn't mind trying to put an undercarriage on, although my Googling hasn't actually come up with anybody that's done it, but There's enough meat there. We'll see, might be the next thing. Anyway, if you want to see how I get on with the Maiden, why not hit the old subscribe button down there, and why not check out some of the other stuff on my channel. The build blog and part 2 of my quest here are on my channel. I'll link them at the end. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll say goodbye for now and hopefully catch you all later. So, bye for now.